OGTV News, Doinsola Ogunbadewa is my name. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Rilwandiso, has issued a directive to commissioners of police nationwide ordering an end to extortion, illegal checkpoints, harassment of citizens and other acts of misconduct. He declared that restoring public confidence in the Nigerian police force was a top operational priority. The order was contained in a signal to members of the police management team, including CPS and other operational commanders, seen by the nation. In the strongly worded marching order, the IGP acknowledged the deep mistrust many Nigerians feel towards officers, describing it as painful and unacceptable. According to him, the directive marks the beginning of a determined effort to rebuild discipline within the police and re-establish its legitimacy in the eyes of the public. The Nigerian military has defended an airstrike on Jili village market near the Borno-Yobe border, calling the target a terrorist enclave as public anger grows over reported civilian casualties. The strike carried out on Saturday under Operation Hadinkai has sparked widespread backlash, with the local authorities, political leaders and rights groups condemning the incidents amid conflicting accounts of casualties. Local sources reported the death toll at over 40 civilians, while other reports indicated that figures could be significantly higher, reflecting ongoing confusion and lack of consensus over the exact number of casualties. The military, however, maintained that the location was a legitimate military target, describing Jili as a known logistic hub and convergence points for fighters of the Islamic State West Africa province. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has warned residents against aiding insurgents following a deadly bombing at Jili markets that claimed over 50 lives. The governor says the market had been shut down for 5 years due to its alleged use as a logistics hub for terrorist groups. In a statement by his media aide, Dauda Elia, Zulum stressed that the state works closely with security agencies before reopening markets or resettling communities affected by insurgency. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protect their lives and urged residents to remain vigilant and provide credible information to support ongoing military operations. The Ministry of Power says electricity generation has improved in the last 2 weeks, from March 28 to April 10, 2026, underscoring the federal government's commitment to delivering on its promises to Nigerians. It says the gradual rise in generation output within the period is in tandem with the assurance given by Minister Adebayo Adelabo at a recent power sector working group meeting. The minister had pledged that electricity supply would improve within 2 weeks. The ministry insists data from the period under review showed that actual power generation increased from about 3,951 megawatt on March 28 to over 4,300 megawatt by April 10, reflecting a consistent upward trend. It explained that the improvement closely aligns with the steady increase in gas supply to thermal power plants, which rose from approximately 605 million standard cubic feet to over 704 within the same time frame. The Ogun State Caucus of the All Progressives Congress, APC, will hold a strategic meeting on Monday, April 13, 2026, at the party secretariat in Abeokuta from 4 p.m. The meeting is part of ongoing efforts to strengthen party unity, review current political developments, and chart a forward-looking course for the party in the state. A statement by the chairman of the party in the state, Chief Yemi Sanusi, says attendance at the meeting is strictly limited to state caucus members as recognized by the party's constitution section. The members are the state party chairman, past state chairman of the party, serving and past state deputy chairman, and serving and past state secretaries. Others are serving and past state governors and deputy governors, current gubernatorial and deputy gubernatorial candidates of the party, serving and past members of the National Assembly, principal officers of the State House of Assembly, members of the State House of Assembly, and secretaries of the state government. Also expected at the meeting are state woman leader, state youth leader, states of persons living with disabilities, and state legal advisor. Past speakers and deputy speakers of the State House of Assembly, all members of the national and zonal executive committees from the state, all national caucus members from the state, and 6 members, 2 from each senatorial districts, are also expected at the meeting. Former President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has declared that Africa has moved beyond being a continent of untapped promise to becoming an investable reality. He therefore urged global investors to reposition for opportunities across the region. Adesina made the assertion in Accra, Ghana, while delivering his acceptance speech after receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the African Heritage Awards. Speaking before Ghana's President John Mahama and other dignitaries, Adesina said current economic data support a growing global shift in how Africa is perceived. The former AFDB president pointed to the emergence of major African corporations as proof of the continent's readiness for large-scale investment. The manufacturing sector's contribution to tax revenue collections in Nigeria maintained an upward trend in 2025, contributing a total of 1.17 trillion naira in value-added tax, representing an increase of 45.61% over the 803.53 billion recorded in 2024, while the sector's company income tax contribution rose to 801.29 billion naira, marking a 32.83% increase from 663.46 billion naira recorded in 2024. Analysts say that the strong year-on-year growth reinforces the sector's expanding role in government revenue generation and Nigeria's industrial investment. The latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics highlights the resilience of the manufacturing sector despite prevailing economic challenges, underscoring the sector as a critical pillar of the country's fiscal base. The NBS data shows that sector maintaining its position as the country's largest contributor to VAT revenue. VAT contributions from the manufacturing sector remained relatively stable throughout 2025, generating 286.95 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025, 295.66 billion naira in the second quarter, and 290.79 billion naira and 292.12 billion naira. On the foreign scene, Hungary's longtime Prime Minister Viktor Orban has conceded defeat in the country's parliamentary election after partial official results showed Peter Magyar's teaser's party winning by a landslide. Prime Minister Viktor Orban just called to congratulate US on his victory, posted on social media as the results rolled in, with 97.35% of the receipts counted. Magia's center-right party secured 138 seats in the 199 seats parliament on 53.6% of the vote, while nationalist Urban's Fidesz took just 55 seats with 35.8%, according to official results. In a victory speech to tens of thousands of supporters gathered along the Danube River and the capital, Budapest, Magyar said his voters had written history. And now to sports, Manchester City.